This is the Yanks Go Yard podcast with Adam Weinrib and Thomas Carinante.
Happy opening day. We did it. We did it. Welcome to a live stream on the Yanks Go Yard podcast on this beautiful Thursday that just so happens to coincide with first pitch of opening day against the San Francisco Giants at home. Aaron Judge is in the right dugout, but there is a man walking around in an Arson Judge Giants jersey, and that guy rules. But the good guy plays for the right team, and he is the captain now, batting ninth. Anthony Volpe making his MLB debut wearing a special patch that will be cut up into baseball cards, rookie cards. Those will cost $1 trillion. More good news. Aaron Hicks not in the opening day lineup. Oswaldo Cabrera in left. We're here to break down final roster moves, lineup, first pitch, baseball, and talk you through everything you need to know during the first few innings of opening day. We want to stay live for an Anthony Volpe AB. That is our goal, unless the pitch clock betrays us, it freezes, there's a 3-hour delay. Volpe takes a long time to bat. Who knows? But we'd love to be live for his first at-bat in the bigs. And we thank you, anyone who's watching, for watching along with us. And if you're not and you want to hear the audio feed, or you're already subscribed to the audio feed, thank you for joining us there. We are an Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And before we throw the first pitch of the 2023 MLB season, and before I get mad at the fans for what you did during the intros, I didn't want to get angry during the first 13 seconds of the opening day Joy podcast. But guess what? Our mentions are already blowing up with people saying the fans made the right decision. So I guess I'm going to have to go on a rant as soon as Thomas Carinante hits you with a promo. But let's give everybody the good news, Thomas, before we give them the bad news.
Of course. Folks, you earned it. You waited this long. Opening day's here. Pat yourself on the back. And guess who's here to reward you? DraftKings. What do you know? If you head on over to DraftKings.com or download the app, if you're living in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, that's who this deal is for. You punch in the code YanksGoYard as a first-time user. If you bet $5 on any sport, you get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. We got a couple minutes to first pitch here. I don't know. You're live on cable, Adam. I don't think the game started yet. Could still sneak in a Yankees bet. Garrett Cole on the mound today. That's probably the smart move. Nonetheless, we got a full slate. Every team is playing today. So you got a million ways to bet for the remainder of the week as well. We got a long weekend ahead. But then again, the code is Yanks Go Yard on DraftKings, DraftKings.com or the app. Bet $5 on any sport, get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. It's a minimum $5 deposit and wager required. New customers only, 21 and over and present in New York. If you have a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY if you're in New York. In New Jersey, call text 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. See full terms at DraftKings.com or in the description below. Please, guys, this directly supports the podcast. We know that you guys tuning in and reading is a big help as well. These deals that we get from these other places also help. And DraftKings is fun. I'm actually a DraftKings user. I can't recommend the app anymore. It's a great time. They have all these fun odds boosts and other prop bets, same game parlays. You can mess with it all. So head on over to DraftKings or DraftKings.com, punch in the code YanksGoYard, and have at it.
Wow. Yeah, still no first pitch. You're right. I am watching on cable. Here they come. They're taking the field, I think. No, who knows? It would be great to know. But I'm going to yell at everybody, and I hope you will too.
Yeah.
I think we're aligned here. Because our mentions right now are embarrassing. We've defended booing in the past. I'm a Yankee fan. Thomas is a Yankee fan. We're Yankee fans. We lived through the dynasty. We lived through World Series losses. We lived through seasons where they missed the playoffs. We lived through free agent acquisitions getting hurt. We lived through pitchers giving up bombs. We lived through Sonny Gray smiling as he left the mound getting booed, right? Boos are a part of baseball for us, not for everyone. It's a weird realization because every time somebody boos a Yankee, when Yankee fans boo Yankees, when they booed Aaron Judge last year in the playoffs, everybody was like, that's despicable. And I'm like, look, it's weird. It's not a great look. But when someone does not play well, Yankee fans boo them. Are there really fan bases out there that do not boo players who do not perform or who show them up or who, give the team a bad reputation. Like, are there really fan bases that don't do that? I guess there are fan bases that don't do that. But Yankee fans boo their players when they struggle and when they give them a reason to. And I've always said no player is going to shy away from wearing the pinstripes because they get booed. If they do, they're not the right type of player, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess what? You guys took it too far today because you booed Aaron Hicks in the pregame intros for opening day. He was benched. He was benched on opening day. Oswaldo Cabrera is in the lineup. Oswaldo Cabrera earned the job. Aaron Hicks is not playing today because he was not good enough. And you still booed him jogging out to the first baseline. Have a sense of decorum, you clowns. Wait for something to go wrong in the game. Wait for Hicks to make a mistake. Even then, probably too soon for boos. The pregame intro is embarrassing. You booed Josh Donaldson in the pregame intro. That's embarrassing. And people in our mentions uniformly are saying it's justified. It's justified. Want to not be booed? Play better. Live up to the contract. Stop dropping balls. Actually, stopping dropping balls, somebody just said. It's not justified to boo someone who's not in the opening day lineup, who is running out to high-five their teammates. How hard is that to understand? Are you insane? Thomas Carinante, wait.
Seems like a lot of people are insane. These are the folks who ruin it for the rest of us, and that's why it's frustrating. This is how Yankee fans get the reputation of being entitled, spoiled, belligerent, whatever, what have you. Fandom is a disease. We'll talk about it ad nauseum. Fansided, we work for Fansided, voice of the fan. We want people to be engaged. We want people to be passionate. We don't want people to be delusional or ignorant or hurtful. And the story with Aaron Hicks, we talked about it earlier in the spring. He appeared in spring training for his first at bat and was merely walking to the plate and was getting boos in Tampa, Florida. I get that there's frustration and it's boiled over since last year. There needs to be a sense of reason that comes with every start of a fresh new season. Am I bullish on Aaron Hicks' 2023? I'm not. Am I going to sit here and write it off? No, I'm going to give the guy a chance. Why would we want to further put somebody in a difficult position mentally when it's already as hard as it could possibly be playing in New York, coming back after the season that he had, coming back after the various injury troubles that he's had? I don't know why we would stoop to the level to do this as a collective. Obviously, there were a lot of fans who opted to do that. I know there were also a number of fans there probably saying, hey, shut the fuck up. Why are we doing this? There's no sense. But you know what's going to get retweeted. You know what's going to get put into articles on rival sites. You know what all the personalities are going to say when they're talking shit about the Yankees. If they were to happen to lose today, this will be highlighted. 4-pitch walk to start the game. Thanks,
yeah,
Garrett
none
Cole.
of the pitches even close. Great job.
Nothing close. But yeah, inappropriate behavior. It's absolutely silly. And you got your way, which is the saddest part. Oswaldo Cabrera, who is a fan favorite at this point after playing a handful of games, is who everybody wanted to see in left field or in center. They just wanted to see some alignment of Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Oswaldo Cabrera with Aaron Hicks on the bench. You got your wish, and you still had to have your cake and eat it. I don't support this. Let's please be better. Next game or next year. We have to wait a fucking year now.
Yeah, he's not playing. That's the thing. Everyone in our mentions currently is
if he was playing.
Of course. I mean, you booed Donaldson and he's playing, but you got your wish. That's what you said. That's the most important part of what you said. He's not playing. And a bunch of people are saying, we'll get this bum off our team. You know, Cashman deserves to get booed for not getting this bum off our team. It's hard to clear that money. You want him to eat $10 million. Nobody wants Aaron Hicks. So guess what? He went and did the next best thing. He's not playing on opening day. And Aaron Boone spoke pregame and basically said, he confirmed this wasn't just sort of a, today it's Oswaldo, tomorrow it's Hicks. He said Hicksy's going to play a role moving forward or whatever, but opening day still means something to the Yankees for sure. And when he's giving someone an opening day start, Look at what they're doing with Anthony Volpe. Like when he's giving someone an opening day start, he is not saying you're going to play today and then I like the matchup and you sit tomorrow or whatever. Oswaldo Cabrera is the opening day left fielder. He wasn't even a left fielder until he got called up last year. He went and took that job from Aaron Hicks. Now you can say shouldn't be that hard to take a job from Aaron Hicks. And you'd be right. Aaron Hicks has not done much of anything since 2019. He hurt his wrist in 2021, trying to come back. That's a hell of a strikeout by Garrett Cole. Let's go. One away. Michael Conforto. That's somebody Yankee fans wanted. And there he goes down looking at a breaker. Nice. I kind of wanted Michael Conforto too. But it is what it is. Aaron Hicks, not a starting caliber player on a team like the Yankees right now. If you are delusional and you think that Brian Cashman should have called the Kansas City Royals and said, we'll trade you our $10 million non-starter and you can give us something of value for this and pay his entire contract. I feel like those are the people in our mentions right now. Why didn't a rebuilding team want a $10 million burden in Aaron Hicks, who's terrible? Yeah, say it out loud. You answered your own question. But booing him in the pregame introductions is some of the lowest behavior I've ever seen from this fan base, which is saying a lot.
I don't know. Let's talk about some real opening day stuff that we said we were going to get to the positives from the jump. And we
can have fun. We can have fun. We've already done 10 minutes of angry stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it needs to be addressed. We got to hold people accountable as best we can. And I want to be on the record saying that this, because, there's enough shit talking across social media. We're in the crosshairs of it all the time. Want to be on record saying that this is not the right behavior and this is not how we want to treat players. Unless I think said player is somebody embroiled in some sort of off the field thing that is, completely, unfathomable.
Did they boo Aroldis Chapman in pregame intros last year?
I wish.
I don't remember.
I wish they did.
So. Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of opening day roster, the Yankees made a move yesterday out of nowhere. We were not expecting it. We were under the impression that the roster was already set.
2Ks.
Yeah, said they signed Franchy Cordero, former Red Sox outfielder. Ooh, nice strikeout.
Yeah.
First baseman that the Boston Red Sox decided to play.
Don't call him a first baseman.
Even though he had never played first base in his life. Franchy Cordero comes to the Yankees as an outfielder. He has a major league deal. It's worth $1 million. It's a split deal. So he makes $1 million if he's on the MLB roster, makes $180K if he's in the minor leagues. He was part of the 2-player return for Andrew Benintendi in a deal with the Royals before the 2021 season. It was Cordero and Josh Winkowski, and every Red Sox fan assured us that this would be a great return, that Franchy Cordero's bat was electric and that he was going to come around and be, an important Hein Bloom piece to this roster. Gone after the 2022 season. And now, he was in spring training with the Orioles. He actually lit it up in spring with the Orioles. They sent him packing. Yankees picked him up. Now the Yankees have 5 bench players on this opening day roster, which I thought was a little crazy. Apparently there's going to be some maneuvering. But I think this is a redundant move. I think if you were going to give Florial a chance, there was no sense in making this addition. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's an upgrade at all over Ortega, because Ortega could have played 3 outfield spots, whereas we don't really know what Cordero could do because the Red Sox jerked him around so much. So I don't really know what to think of this. Seems just like an excess piece, and that we can expect more shuffling to be done over the next week or two.
Yeah, I think Cordero could play 0 outfield spots, to be perfectly honest with you. He certainly can't play first base. He is I don't know. I know why the Yankees want to take a chance on him, because he has some of the craziest exit velocity in pro baseball.
Yeah.
He always has. And the Yankees drool over that kind of thing. And he's coming off a hot spring. And I think a lot of people were surprised that the Orioles cut him, because the Orioles can use talent. But we've seen a lot of Franchy Cordero with the Red Sox. I think that we know what Franchy Cordero is at this point. He's a guy who will occasionally lay into a fastball and hit it 495 feet at 119 miles an hour exit velocity and make everybody's jaw drop and make everybody go, why is this not one of the 20 best power hitters in baseball? But at the end of the year, in a large sample size, the strikeouts are insane. The defense is non-existent. He's only going to hit you 7 or 8 homers in regular playing time, and he's not going to be a valuable player. Maybe the Yankees want to try to, maybe they're hoping that window where he hits 3 of the most impressive bombs you've ever seen are in April. Then he starts struggling in May, and they go, okay, great, you're gone. I mean,
Maybe.
It is what it is. What did we just get called? Nothing, a batter timeout or something? Yeah, okay. That's the one problem with watching baseball on mute now, is there's all sorts of umpire shit that can happen, and he just pointed at somebody. I thought it was a free walk, but it wasn't. Did Jock walk? Jock strikes out. We'll see. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Garrett Cole, the worst 4-pitch walk you've ever seen.
Oh, he went. Wow.
Followed by 3 strikeouts. Nicely done in the first. Yeah, there's a chance that with the new rules today that the umpire just starts pointing around and that's like a free walk or a free strikeout or something. But that was nothing. So we go to the bottom of the first. Franchi Cordero is a player who, you know what? If you have him on your roster, people are going to gush about how you have him. Like, baseball writers love Franchi Cordero because baseball nerds who look at the StatCast are just going to be like, I don't get it. Like, this guy has the hardest line drives of anybody. Like, why wouldn't you be able to unlock Franchi Cordero? And the Red Sox couldn't do it. The Royals couldn't do it, and the Padres couldn't do it, and he does not have a defensive position. So I didn't want Estevan Florial to make the opening day roster. I didn't expect that I would have to deal with whether I wanted him to make it over Franchi Cordero or not, because that's not really something I expected to have an opinion on. But it's left the Yankees with a really weird and weak bench for this opening day, at least, if not the opening series, with both Florial and Cordero on the roster for now, and no Ortega, who the rumor was he was coming north with the team too, but they hadn't made a decision yet, which made everybody think a move was looming. It turned out he had been granted his release the day prior, and he is gone. Much more success at the major league level for Rafael Ortega. The ability to cover center field for Rafael Ortega. I feel like the Yankees got a little too cute here.
Yeah, it's nobody on this bench can do anything effectively, or they all have like one, like what you have Cordero, who has monster exit velocities. Cool. Can the ball drop? Doesn't seem like it can. You have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's super versatile on the defensive end, but you have 2 other guys who are of that caliber. You have Aaron Hicks, who can run, he's switch hitter, can run into one every so often, but obviously we just talked about how he's not well liked with the fans. So why do you want to trot him out there? Who else is here? I can't even remember at this point, because that's how much. We have Higashioka, who's the backup catcher. We already know that. And it's just a bunch of excess here that is not really serving much of a purpose. And that's going to be problematic for a team like the Yankees, who obviously is going to need to rely on depth because they have a ton of injury issues. Yes, I know Harrison Bader will be back eventually. One of these guys will get bumped and we won't have to really be concerned with it. But if we're going to carry a bench of 5 guys, like 2 of them have to be good or have some redeeming quality that they put forth on a consistent basis, and not either potential that we've seen from years ago that we're hoping that they can unlock, or something as kind of, I will say, trivial for exit velocity, because it doesn't matter unless you're actually putting the ball. If you're getting batting runs in or getting on base or whatever. Franchi Cordero, I think, batted like 205 with the Red Sox over the last 2 years, so that's not good enough. And OPS is in the low 600s. I understand he'll be maybe in a better position because the Yankees have a more deeper, more stacked lineup than the Red Sox, but still wishful thinking, especially at the onset of the season. I would rather more inspiring stuff here. That's all. And then when you look, towards the pitching staff, they're talking about making a move. Aaron Boone said, did he indicate it's going to be a free agent or a trade, or he just said we have a move?
Somehow it got leaked that it was going to be a free agent pitcher signing. I think John Boy had that because he was breaking down the list of free agent pitchers who are still unsigned. Brendan Cuddy, Aaron Boone says the Yankees are currently talking to a free agent pitcher about a deal. Didn't say who it was, could be added before Friday's game. Now that could be Aaron Judge, Is that gone to dead center? Give me a no. Well, yes.
Home run?
Yeah. Come on. Come on. This guy is stupid.
What a
Come
guy.
now.
What a guy.
I wonder if when they high-five Aaron Hicks in the dugout, people start booing. Oh my God, he's touching Aaron Hicks. Get fucked.
He's going to get the cooties.
Oh, he's just celebrating with Josh Donaldson. Get fucked. This is unbelievable. This is his first at-bat as a captain of the Yankees. He's went 420 feet dead center. Come on.
He's a guy. He's a guy. This is why you sign him. This is why naming him captain was the right decision. You saw that he had the right influence on all these roster decisions. And I don't know. Seems like it's just destiny for Aaron Judge. With what happened last year, and the fact that he's so motivated to win a championship in New York. You can't overlook those things. A lot of those intangibles and vibe aspects of it, I think, are huge, and that's awesome. Fucking, we're in the lead. Let's go.
I can't believe he just did that. Opening day is mostly ceremonial, right? It's tough to remember because we've gone 5 months without competitive baseball, and it's not just one of 162 in many ways. It matters more, but it is just one of 162, right? So end of day, you wake up tomorrow, you're either 1-0 or 0-1. You go back to work on Saturday, you got a million more of these. So it doesn't really truly matter who wins or loses. You want to get the win.
Bader's hanging out.
Bader came out for pregame intros. There he is, slapping Judge. You want to get the win because winning is great. Anthony Rizzo, that's a single to left field. Logan Webb, my preseason NL Cy Young pick on yesterday's episode of the Baseball Insiders. So far, not enjoying his time facing the Yankees lineup. But the game doesn't matter more than any other game, really.
That's a rip.
Except for the fact that we are going to remember Aaron Judge's opening day home run forever. It's the first of his career. We remember Aaron Judge and Tyler Austin's home runs in his debut against the Rays. We remember the way he hit 61 last year, and we remember the way he hit 60, not just that he did it. We remember Stanton's grand slam in the 60 home run game. Some home runs are more important than others. And that one, you're going to get framed photos of that Aaron Judge opening day home run on a lot of kids' walls. That's going to be a poster. I only wish he had kissed the logo on his way around the bases or something. He didn't because he's the captain and he's Aaron Judge. He's not going to do that in the first inning of opening day, but I could have used a more iconic celebration there.
Yeah. Damn, that's such good vibes though. I have a hot take for the season. I think Stanton's going to be healthy for the whole way. I was thinking about that yesterday.
I was screaming at somebody yesterday about Giancarlo Stanton, and this sort of struck me. And we'll get back to the mystery pitcher in a little bit.
Mystery man.
We promise. I'll read off the list of potential free agent additions and see if we enjoy them, see if we don't, and whatnot. But I was getting into it with somebody on Twitter yesterday. I'm curious as to your opinion. Giancarlo Stanton, Hall of Famer or no? Because to me, obvious yes. And
really?
he's not going to be a Hall of Famer if he retires today because she's 33 years old and there's just not enough. And he's got to cross 500 homers, I think, to get serious consideration, considering how many DH reps he has. But he missed 2 full seasons, right? He missed 2020 because of the pandemic and an injury. He barely played. He barely played in 2019. He's 33 years old. Guess how many? Do you know how many home runs he has? I don't think you get this right off the top of your head.
Well, I'm on the baseball reference page.
All right. Well, I would have said 315, 320. And the answer is 378. So
I actually would have guessed 4 something.
3 more years of 40 or 4 more years of 30, which is a little more realistic. And he's over 500 and then he's in.
Is he in?
Simple as that. 500, he's in.
500 gets you in? I guess. Yeah, right now, no, absolutely not. He's not a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I saw that tweet. I forgot. I didn't see who sent it, but it was like, so glad Giancarlo Stanton's going to be wearing a Yankees hat on his Hall of Fame plaque. It's like, what?
Yeah, it was a Max Manus original. I mean, he was obviously just having a little fun, but then some angry people came in and mentioned it was like, no way he's a Hall of Famer. It's like, no way.
Yeah.
500 homers is not a Hall of Famer, you fools.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So my thing with Hall of Fame, I mean, if he gets to 500, yeah, because at that point he's going to be well over 1,000 RBIs. He's going to be well over 1,000 runs scored. So
New York Yankee for like 8 years, like really extremely famous Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, you got an MVP. You got multiple silver sluggers in there. You have an MVP runner-up. You have led the league in home runs twice. I guess you could convince me of it. My only thing with that argument is just with how his career has kind of transpired. Signed that giant contract and then just became a one-dimensional player that was injury prone and still has not had anything close to the seasons that he had in Miami. And playing in Miami.
Josh Donaldson goes down looking at the inning. Here come the boos. New
Classic.
Josh Donaldson swing. Great.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. For me, the Hall of Fame is like the discussion for me always comes down to could you tell the story of the last 20 years of baseball without this person? Giancarlo Stanton, I don't think would be one of the main antagonists of the last 20 years, but I think that he's had enough moments in there to not exclude him from the overall big picture baseball landscape. But yeah, he's gonna need to play very well, I think, or fairly well through his age 35 season to make that a reality. But right now, I would say no. If his career ended within the next 3 years and he didn't produce like at the levels that he did in 2021 or 2018, then absolutely not.
Yeah, I get all of this. I'm not gonna anybody who's like, yeah, not sure. I'm like, fine, I get it. But you got to acknowledge that he's at least got a solid shot. If he crosses 500, he's probably over the threshold. Now boo Josh Donaldson, everybody. Go ahead, boo Josh Donaldson. Let's talk mystery pitchers. And I'm going to hit you with a theory that I don't know if you're going to like, dislike, whatnot. But John Boy seems pretty certain that this is an unsigned free agent reliever. And that's why there are 7 guys in the bullpen. And yeah, I get the thinking, but with Clark Schmidt and Domingo Germán and Johnny Brito in the rotation, are we 100% positive it's not a free agent starting pitcher who could potentially be a swingman out of the bullpen and somebody who Matt Blake might want to get his hands on? Now, the list of free agent relievers, pretty unimpressive across the board. Corey Knebel, who's always injured, is there. Julie Chassin, who the Yankees have had, is there. Hansel Robles, who's terrible, is there. Joe Smith is 39 years old. He's around. Josh James from Houston, he was on those playoff teams with the Astros. Archie Bradley, Ken Giles, who punched himself in the face. Zach Britton, a lot of teams were at his workout. Nobody signed him yet. Steven Brault, Garrett Cole's old teammate on the Pirates. People have talked about Steven Brault as a potential Yankee for a couple of years now. They like to listen to Garrett Cole. They got Jameson Taillon. When they got Taillon, people said, look out for Brault. Now he's a free agent. I don't know, but I'm going to give you another name that's not listed here because these are all relievers. The starting pitching market is extremely weak right now, but are we 100% sure that the Yankees don't want to get their hands on 34-year-old Chris Archer? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If this is a free, so this is where I don't understand, because if this is a free agent edition, how are you going to sit here and tell me that it wasn't more worthwhile to bring up Matt Crook or bring up Davey Garcia or bring up Greg Weissert or bring up Ian Hamilton, who actually had a tremendous spring? I'm not saying any or all of those guys would have been definitive fits and succeeding from the jump, but I think you know what you got in this crop of free agents. It's bad. You look at the starters, like, honestly, it's Mike Minor, Michael Pineda, who I never want to see again, Carlos Martinez, Dallas Keuchel,
Garrett Richards.
Yeah, Garrett Richards, Mike Fulton-Awich. Like, what? No. I was hoping this was a trade. I was hoping that you're carrying 5 bench players because you're at least trading one of them, maybe two, if you can get a package deal. And if some other team had, I haven't been paying enough attention to the larger picture, but there could have been guys squeezed off rosters who were capable players that, maybe there was a tough bullpen competition or starting rotation competition. We already talked about the rotation competition in Seattle and how that bumped Chris Flexen, and that made him a speculated trade candidate. You mean to tell me there wasn't one of those scenarios, like knock down a few pegs to the point where we can at least have something serviceable instead of looking at this group of free agents, unless MLB.com is missing somebody that I am overlooking on this free agent list, because it doesn't look good. And I don't know why you wouldn't give younger guys a chance that you already offered the opportunity to this spring and saw them produce right in front of your eyes, and now you're going to go with somebody else. I don't like that that's going to be a free agent addition at all.
Do you like any of these relievers? Because I don't really like any of them either, to be honest with you. I did be talked into Archie Bradley.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I mean, are any of these people going to survive Lou Trevino coming back?
Well, that's the thing too. You could talk me into Bradley and Knievel, but how do you say his name? Knebel?
Or Knebel. Is he even healthy?
I am not sure. I know I think he just got jettisoned by the Phillies last year because he was so bad.
He was hurt though. He was hurt at some point. Apparently he is not now.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, you saw his year with the 2021 Dodgers. That's how he ended up getting the closer role for the Phillies at the onset of last season. And I know it didn't work out, but remember, with the Phillies, every bullpen arm that they touch turns to shit. So they might not have followed the same process as the Dodgers did. I'd say the Yankees and the Dodgers are very similar in their developmental paths for either younger guys who are looking to stick, or veterans who have lost their stuff or still have yet to discover their stuff. So you could talk me into those two. Archie Bradley is totally solid. And he's an ambassador for Dude Wipes, which is sick because he pooped his pants one time on the mound. So that's a great fit for New York. Theoretically, yeah, those guys would be fine as one of the last options. But then again, like I said, I don't know why you wouldn't just go with the people you saw perform in front of you that you had plans for developmentally, and help them get to a point where some of them succeeded. Some of them, look at David Garcia, the turnaround that he's made. I'm not saying he deserves a roster spot right now, but what's the use for him in AAA then? You're just gonna what? He's had two of the worst possible years you could have had at AAA. He's had enough MLB experience at this point. You're just going to keep having him develop at AAA where he's clearly not comfortable. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think a free agent addition here makes sense.
No, although it would be kind of fun to say Max Knebel's big move every time Corey Knebel comes out of the bullpen. But other than that, yeah, don't like it very much. And I feel like I have more faith in the guys I'd rather have Rafael Ortega on this roster. I'd rather have Matt Crook on this roster. I would rather have Greg Weissert on this roster. But if you are the type who poops your pants under duress like Archie Bradley and you're stressed out, well, we can help you just a little bit. If you are someone who has tried gambling but has not tried DraftKings and you want to be a new customer, we have a reward for you. We have an offer. Bet $5 on any sport. Get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins, if you use the code YanksGoYard. That's for DraftKings users in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the holy trinity of states. Pennsylvania, best of luck. We got nothing for you. But Jose Trevino, are you kidding me? Challenge that. You gunned him out. What's the umpire pointing in the dugout and screaming? What do you have to say for yourself? Are you sure he's safe?
Yeah.
I'd like to see this again. He is
you got to hold that tag, Anthony.
Yeah, I think he's safe. Of course, Tyro Estrada is the only Giant who looks competent against Garrett Cole so far. That's pretty cool. Wish we had him, although we have an infield lot. It is what it is. Here's Blake Sable, but I did not mean to interrupt the ad read. Yanks Go Yard is still the code. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You bet $5 on any sport. Get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Could be baseball now, opening day. Buzz is in the air. Could be any sport. Truly, the definition of any sport is any sport. Now, what's required of you? Minimum $5 deposit and wager required. Again, new customers only. 21 plus and present in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. Gambling problem? Call 888-778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New York, in New Jersey, call text 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. See full terms at DraftKings.com or in the description below. Garrett Cole, another strikeout of Blake Sabol to end the inning.
Who is that?
Is that 6 in 2 innings for Garrett Cole?
Does he really have 6?
I believe he does.
Yes, he does.
Again, it's tough on mute. It's tough when the umpire's pointing at stuff. I was glad to not have to mute before the intro video that the Yankees ran, which was set to Welcome to the Black Parade. Did you get that?
No, that's great.
Yeah, it was a bunch of fans and grandpas and dads and people in Berra and Munson and Jeter jerseys walking into the stadium. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. I mean, I wish they had cut it off before marching band just because it's subjectively not what you're about to see. But other than that, pretty relevant song for opening day. And that video got me more riled up because I was watching it, father, sons, tradition, Yogi, Mickey, Whitey. And it was right after people were just booing Aaron Hicks for walking out and accepting that he was not a starter. And it made me even madder because I was like, look, the tradition's right in front of you, but you're still going to scream at this guy. Okay, cool. I see you.
Someone unfollowed me during the podcast. You really don't like me that much?
Unfollowed you personally or the Twitter account?
No, my Twitter account.
Oh,
I had 841 followers.
I saw somebody unfollow me yesterday too. Not going to say who, but.
Oh, you know?
Former employee to a certain extent. Someone who used to be in the fan-sided universe had a terrible tweet, and I responded to it, and then it said, "This tweet has been deleted. You can't respond to it." And I said, "Oh yeah, good deletion because this tweet sucked." And then when I checked the person's profile, no longer following. Interesting. Now, not somebody who I think would have wanted to read about the Yankees every day, which is what I tweet about. So best of luck in your journey. But certainly someone who in the past has complained about, why am I not more liked? What have I done wrong? I would say tweeting bad things and then unfollowing people is maybe an unlikable quality. Go Yankees.
You know who doesn't have a single unlikable quality?
No.
That would be Anthony Volpe.
Yep. Let's set the scene because we're 4 batters away.
4 batters away. Come on, baby. Volpe's been getting all the headlines. You already know. You saw him trot out there for opening day. He got a great ovation. You saw all the pre-opening day pieces. You got one from ESPN. Where was the other one from? Fox?
He got a great one from Fox. Jake Mintz of Cespedes Family Barbecue had a great story about they did not have a Team USA for under 12-year-olds for a long time, but installed it around the time Volpe was under 12. So he is now the first major leaguer to be on Team USA under 12, under 15, under 18, and make his major league debut. The only other player currently in the minors, or maybe not, but the other biggest name who had the potential to do this is Pete Crow Armstrong, former Mets prospect, now a Cub. So when he does it, he'll have the same designation as Volpe, but Volpe got there first. And the story about him being just the most poised 12-year-old with braces ever at a tournament in a buzzing stadium in Taiwan was a great read. He basically cold tried out for that team. And like his dad encountered another dad in the airport who was like, "Oh, your son has no chance. Like they already have the team decided. There's the best shortstop, the best player in the country plays shortstop. Like, sorry, your kid has no shot," which is like a great thing to say to a dad and is under 12-year-old. Then Volpe went out and made it and was a star of this team. It was always like an undersized guy with surprising pop. The ESPN story said that his parents are WFAN callers. Like they try not to listen as much anymore because now they're talking about their kid. How weird would that be? Literally scale of 1 to 10 for you to be a lifelong New York sports radio head. And all of a sudden it's like, they're just talking about it's like, they're just talking about your dog. For you. Yeah. It's bizarro world. The radio suddenly is like, you listen every day for 20 years. And then they're like, I tell you what, Adam Weinrib's wife is cool. You're like, wait, what? why is it on the radio? Oswaldo Cabrera just struck out. That's going to make it tougher for Volpe to come up the sitting unless Trevino can come through. But his bleacher creature signal was kissing the New York on his chest like Aaron Judge. And so I'm just going to give you the floor and talk about the exact flip side of the Hicks intro. His first couple innings with the Yankees, he's now in the on-deck circle. They're showing him could not be more welcome.
Yeah, you saw him pregame coming out of the dugout, and it's wild because I don't know how people handle this because and he's just now. Come on, man.
Yep, you're ahead of me. I just got that. Yeah.
And he's recognized that. Giving Oswaldo Cabrera starting job today. So, I mean, I'm happy that this is all worked out. I'm happy that it seems to be a fit. And I want to see him bat, but that was a really bad inning, and now I'm frustrated.
Yeah, that was as bad as it gets. I did not enjoy that inning. Gleyber Torres swinging the first pitch. It's almost like he maybe forgot that this is also kind of a prove it year for him as well. It's not like just because you're starting on opening day and you weren't last year does not mean that you have anything grandfathered to you. You're still probably the most jettisonable Yankee, other than the guys at the very bottom of the bench. Namely Estevan Florial and Franchy Cordero. We wrote about, we had like an opening day roster piece today of players who were spot on the roster as most tenuous. And we corrected it to basically say we had written it about Florial. Then it looked like Franchy was going to steal his spot. I wrote it to say, yeah, thought it was going to be Florial. Now it's Franchy. Now you're closest next on the chopping block. But apparently they're both on the roster for like a day or two, maybe. Obviously Florial will be the first to go. They are not going to DFA Jimmy Cordero to get this mysterious pitcher onto the roster. They are going to cut one of the outfielders loose, and it is probably not going to be the one they just signed yesterday in Franchy Cordero. At least I would hope not, because I don't want to think about having wasted time talking about him only for him to be on the roster for opening day only. Now, I think there was a better use of Estevan Florial than this, but apparently the Yankees disagree. While we wait for Volpe's debut to officially get an at-bat attached to it, I think we need to just mention how wrong we got the lineup and how happy we are that we got the lineup so wrong. I guess you were much closer to getting it right. You sort of gave this fantasy idea that had Oswaldo in the outfield and Stanton in right. I said Stanton would be in right for the opener and not for Saturday's game. I still agree with that. He is in right today. Good job by Aaron Boone. But in minimizing the number of dud bats by starting Stanton in right and starting Cabrera in left and putting Aaron Hicks on the bench, you've done a really good job. The lineup looks strong. You managed to fit Gleyber Torres in there, as bad as his first at-bat was. You managed to get DJ LeMahieu in there. If you were insisting on starting Josh Donaldson, at least you found the right way to get both of them in there along with Torres. And I don't know how this lineup is going to chop it up for the remainder of the game, but I know they walked into it last year with guaranteed weak spots in IKF and Aaron Hicks. And this year they walked into it with nobody who I look at and say, you don't deserve to be here. So good job by Aaron Boone, stuffing the lineup with the best possible offense on opening day. And a solid rebuke, again, to the people who said the Yankees didn't do anything to get better season to season. You look at the lineup this year compared to opening day last year, and it's night and day. Opening day lineup's not going to stick forever. No. Troy Tulowitzki started over DJ LeMahieu in 2019, but pretty solid start to the year from Aaron Boone's perspective in filling out the lineup card.
You were only wrong about one thing. You had Hicks in. You had DJ starting at second, and you had Glaber DHing. You were right on everything except for Hicks.
Yeah, I had Hicks because I didn't have enough faith.
Yeah, I had DJ DH, Glaber second, Oswaldo left field. So I got the positions wrong, but the lineup right. You got the positions right, but one lineup spot wrong. So we weren't far off. We were right on the money. I think that the biggest point coming out of spring is that for once, or at least it feels like for the first time in a long time, the Yankees actually rewarded good performances.
Yeah.
They rewarded Anthony Volpe for kicking ass. And now I got completely mind-effed by John Boy because I was listening to Talking Yanks yesterday, and he had a theory that was the Yankees brought up Peraza last year when they did, just so Volpe can get that final 3 weeks at AAA. So he wouldn't make the jump from AA to the bigs. And the plan was probably to always send Peraza down unless Volpe had an awful spring, but they were betting on him to have a good spring, and he did. But either way, regardless of how you look at it, regardless of what theories you're talking about, Volpe vastly outperformed Peraza and IKF, and he won the shortstop job. Oswaldo Cabrera vastly outperformed everybody. He was the Yankees' best hitter during spring training, and he earned himself an opening day start. We don't know what that's going to look like, but based on what you said before about Aaron Boone talking about Cabrera and how this probably isn't going to be a one-off thing, it seems like his play from last year, stemming from the beginning of August all the way into the postseason. He had that home run against the Guardians, as well as exercising his versatility and making it known that he's a team player and is willing to do anything that'll help the team win. Carrying it over into the spring and kicking as much ass as he did has earned him a legitimate spot in the rotation, whether it's him starting, 3 days a week or him getting regular reps whenever the Yankees deem it fit. And if that means they're going to put guys on the bench like Donaldson and Hicks and move some things around, another loss for the haters who's saying that nothing changed, because we're seeing it from day one. We're seeing it, starting on Sunday when they gave Volpe the bump. They're realizing at this point that they need to have the best roster possible. I know that they kind of contradicted themselves with this bench that they carried into the season, but apparently that's not going to be, or it is going to be short-lived, because we have a pitcher coming on board, and you can bet they're not keeping 3 outfielders on the bench.
Yeah. The same person who was telling us that you're supposed to boo Aaron Hicks during intros just tweeted, should we bake Donaldson cookies now to make him feel better after that strikeout? You tell me. Again, there's a fucking difference between booing during the game and booing during pregame intros for someone who's on the bench. You absolute moron.
What kind of cookies would we make Donaldson?
You are our dumbest reader, and I hope you have a great day. Your brain is extremely bad. Now, I know some people will say, hey, go to podcasting school. Are you supposed to alienate your listeners and your readers? No, you're obviously not supposed to do that. But you, sir, one guy, are a fucking idiot. Garrett Cole, 3 outs, 2 strikeouts that inning. A K looking to end it. That's 8 through 3 frames, and Anthony Volpe leads off the bottom of the third. We will be here until Volpe's AB is complete, and then we'll sign off. But before we go, I think we do need to have a miniature hater discussion instead of just attacking our own players and our own fans for their behavior. Did you see the Mets news that just dropped while we were live?
No.
Justin Verlander hitting the injured list with a low-grade teres major strain. He will continue throwing at moderate intensity, and the Mets will rescan in a week. They will provide an update at that time.
What's that injury?
Teres major, that's a shoulder. Fade the Mets. You and I were already talking before the game. The Mets, this is just an innocent beat writer tweet about their bullpen. But if you haven't been following the Mets this spring, the Mets make official what had been obvious in the waning days of spring training. John Curtis, Steven Nogosek, and Dennis Santana snagged the last bullpen spots. That is a terrible bullpen.
Supposedly Nogosek is solid. I asked one of our Met fan friends. 3
of those guys are snagging final bullpen spots. That's worse than the Yankees add in the Verlander injury, and I do not believe I think this Mets team gets too much credit for just having Steve Cohen as their owner. In a division with the Phillies and with the Braves, you cannot put out Eduardo Escobar at third base. You cannot put out a bullpen that includes all of those dudes, and you cannot lose Justin Verlander for a significant length of time. I'm sorry, Met fans, I do not like that.
I like the credit for the spending because it's cool. Everyone's giving the Padres credit. We got to give the Mets credit. My problem with the Mets was their tertiary moves. They weren't good enough. And then obviously the issues with the prospects. Brett Beatty going down, Francisco Alvarez going down. I don't know what that's about. I haven't been following them closely enough. But yeah, like you said, Eduardo Escobar can't be in the starting lineup. You knew there was going to be some sort of problem having, an aging rotation like that with two of those guys up top. But it's only 2-year deals. So I'm still in support of what they have going on there. I don't know if it's just crazy how Verlander, of course, leaves Houston and then is dealing with control issues and now is already on the injured list. It's like, it's devil magic down there.
Well,
here's Anthony Volpe. Let's talk about
Here's Anthony Volpe. Here's Anthony Volpe. Who cares about
he's going after the first pitch. I love it.
Yes, he is. I don't know how you got ahead of me. He's swinging after your I hate that. I have cable and you have bootleg.
I have MLB TV with a VPN, baby. Come get me.
Yeah, all right.
Come get me, Manfred.
That's not so bad. But that was an all-time standing ovation. You got all those kids in the Del Barton jerseys out there in the bleachers.
Jersey.
No, not Del Boca Vista, Del Barton, where he and Jack Leiter were teammates. And I think at that time we all expected, all the scouts are there for Jack Leiter. The Yankees drafted some light-hitting shortstop who loves Derek Jeter, 30th overall at the end of the first round. I mean, that's cute, but seemed like a signability thing. I remember when they drafted Kyle Holder. I was like, well,
come on, sir.
Another Kyle Holder. Oh, that's exactly where the
where
the 1-1 was. You got the same pitch as striking a ball. Anthony Volpe learning big league lessons early. Sometimes you don't just have to adjust to the pitcher. You also have to adjust to the umpire being a dolt. That's a bad call. That one's way outside, but you could smell that he wanted to call that too.
Come on, Anthony.
Full count, buddy. Good hack on that first pitch, though. You can't deny. But look at this at-bat versus Gleyber Torres' at-bat, by the way.
Oh, and he walks.
Let's go.
That's
4 pitches
successful.
in the same place. 3 of them were balls. 1 was a strike. I don't know what lesson Anthony Volpe is supposed to glean from that, but
spitting on those, dude. He didn't even hesitate. Hesitate.
Nope. The first pitch was hittable. There's a reason he hacked it. Yeah. It was a 2-seamer cutting right over the middle. Strike 2 was a bad pitch. It looked a lot like ball 3 and ball 4. But he spat on every single one of them. Professional at bat from the jump. I am so glad he made his debut. You can see the debut patch on the sleeve, by the way, the extremely expensive baseball card. They announced this morning that they're turning those debut patches. I sort of thought they were doing it for the Hall of Fame, like just so you could identify a player's debut jersey beyond a shadow of a doubt. And they say today, Michael Rubin and Fanatics say they're cutting them up, putting them in rookie cards. They're not big. I feel like it's just going to be one card, just like one of one rookie card with the game used patch in it. And it will cost you tens of thousands of dollars to obtain that. If that's,
are they going to have pictures of those on the rookie cards now?
I don't know.
Well, I guess they can't because if you do, well, I mean, it depends when you debuted.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like a double little photo because they got to put the RC stamp on it too. Logan Webb, you only get so many pickoff throws. You only get so many pickoff throws. You just wasted one with Volpe standing flat-footed on first base. You can see him. So he's laughing. He knows that's dumb. Now he still gets one more, but Volpe should probably steal here. Anyway. I would steal here, but be careful.
He's got to be stealing.
Be careful because if you get thrown out, then they're going to boo Aaron Hicks. No,
I think a key for Volpe this year is that he needs to be going on more first pitches than not when he gets on base. Just immediately apply pressure to the pitcher and the defense. I don't think it's risky for him to steal with his speed and his instincts on the base paths. If you get thrown out, you get thrown out. But the impact. Oh, there he goes. Strike 3. And he's safe. Stolen base for Anthony Volpe.
There you go. And what better time we will sign off now. That's 6 Ks for Logan Webb, too, by the way. I didn't pick up on that. Just
Helmet
another
flies off. He's Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
another season of Yankees baseball. 6 Ks, really, in 2 1/3 innings? Did they really? I mean, yes.
I don't know what DJ's looking at there. That was another bad at bat. He swung effortless or completely without any conviction on the first pitch. Rolled over the second one as a foul ball, and then looked at one right down the middle for strike 3.
Yeah, 2 Ks for DJ today, not great. And Logan Webb, I think, good pitcher. Good major
Let's stay
league
on for
pitcher.
Judge. Let's stay on for the Judge.
Stay on for Judge. I'm just getting ready to wrap up so that everybody is prepared.
Wow, what a season he had last year. I wonder if that got MVP.
Well, I mean, it probably didn't because Shohei Ohtani exists, and he's really the only man who's allowed to win the MVP. That's a bad cut by Aaron Judge.
Come on.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
But if you say that Shohei Ohtani is basically gifted the MVP award every year, a bunch of 42-year-old bald sports writers in glasses show up and they're like, actually, you're the problem. You saying that was deeply problematic. And then they go on long rants about how, as a public figure, their life is hell. And then you're like, what are you talking about?
Oh, my God.
I still have that person.
My life is a basement-dwelling blogger.
Sometimes I think about how being a public figure is deleterious. It's like, dude, 3 people talk to you today. What are you talking about?
You don't even have – you have a cartoon as your profile picture.
You are not a public figure.
It's a bad cut.
And you're ahead of me. All right.
Boom.
No better time than the present to sign off. Logan Webb has 7 Ks. He's matching Garrett Cole pitch for pitch. Good pitcher, good duel. Yankees opening day always ushers in hope and the hope of a new era and something different. But Anthony Volpe walking in his first AB and Judge homering to dead central in his first at-bat as captain made the symbolism a little bit plainer today. Remember, you can find us live typically Mondays and Thursdays, 2 o'clock Eastern. We are approaching 2 o'clock Eastern now, the time when we would typically be going live on the pod. Special occasion calls for a special podcast. I really don't want to be screaming at our fans and readers anymore. I just want to thank them for all they've done to help us if you guys have dipped into that promo code at all. Again, promo code Yanks Go Yard, DraftKings, new users, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Bet $5 on any sport, get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Call text 1-800-GAMBLER, New Jersey, 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. See full terms of DraftKings in the description below. We love you if you've done that, if you've downloaded the app, if you have become a new user. If you are a viewer or a listener, you can find us on all podcast platforms, but we recommend you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel to be here first and watch along with us whenever we are live. This is going to be a season full of storylines, whether you are a pessimist, optimist, believer, Anthony Volpe, diehard, or booing Aaron Hicks in the pregame intros is all you care about, and then you went home and grabbed a beer. You don't even know there's a pitch clock. That's just your passion in life. No matter what kind of fan you are, there is a place for you on this podcast. But if you're that kind of fan, expect to get a little shit from us because I can't really deal with that. Until next time, I'm Adam Weinrib. You can find me on Twitter at Adam Weinrib. Thomas Carinante, where can the people find you?
I'm at Tommy's_takes. We are both at the official Yanks Go Yard Twitter account at Yanks Go Yard FS. Our bylines are at yanksgoyard.com. Lots of content there for you. We're right on top of all the roster moves. We're going to be right on top of whatever this pitching edition is and the corresponding moves that come with it. So please continue reading, continue commenting, continue speaking with us through the Yanks Go Yard community. We're having a great time. And until then, we'll talk to you again. Actually, we're gonna go live Sunday after the opening series. That's gonna be a little change for next week. So be on your toes for that. Anthony Rizzo pops out in the infield. The inning's over.
Yep.
And we'll leave you with that, everybody.
Could only go up from here because there are so many more games. Let's rack up the wins while we have a chance. Let's welcome the mystery pitcher when he arrives. Let's go Yankees. We'll see you on Sunday and listen to us in your podcast feeds next week and all year long. Take care, everybody.